I'd like us to look at table number 6 for the last hand of the day. You're going to see it folded to us in the small blind, and we're going to make a raise. We're going to get there eventually. We flop trip 5s with a flush draw or blockers against bigger flush draws. We want to bet here because we're betting our entire range. And we've got another 5 out kickered, and we want to build the pot against a queen, additionally protecting against the queen. He goes ahead and calls us. I feel at this point we're dealing with like the queen, some spades, some slow played 5s, and some floats, and obviously like the super big hands, but they're not too relevant. If he's got them, so be it, and he's going to win some money off us. So we go ahead and continue betting on the turn is the line I opt to take. I think there is some merit in checking here. We have spades partially blocked, and he can definitely have a smaller spade draw. There's only one card to come now if he's got a queen. If he's got like a queen and a pair in his hand, he might have 4 outs, so say that's worth 10%. But when he does have that queen, I don't think he's going to give us 2 more streets of action, so this is a spot where you can potentially check for manipulating and like really balancing your range, whereby you want to see bet all of these, and if they're starting to float you, or if they're starting to think that like the queen or even like under pairs to the queen have value on against you because they have position on you, this is not a bad spot to start check calling. Yeah, for balancing purposes, and it will really confuse your opponent if he sees you take such a line. I opt to go ahead and bet because I have a hand which is pretty strong. There is a chance he has the 5 and he's messed it up, and yeah, sometimes I want to be 2-barreling my air, so I do want to make it life hard just for the naked queen, the times when I have nothing at all. So I go ahead and bet. And he calls, which is pretty interesting. At this point, I put him on like maybe a queen with some spades himself, maybe pocket kings, maybe a 5. And at this point, you're actually starting to analyze, hey, am I in trouble? Am I behind here? And it's good that this hand comes in immediately after the El Captain empty Davin hand, and we have to talk about value betting and bet folding full houses. It doesn't occur to me here, but I feel this is another spot where, well, he might not even raise here because he fears ace-ace if he does have queen-queen, but a lot of the time they are still going to raise you with queen-queen. So at this point, I feel he has a queen with some spades of his own. He has a 5 that he's decided to slow play. He might have had queen-5, which he's actually messed up now that river's come in. And maybe he has pocket kings. You could also make an argument that he has like 6, 7, 8 or something similar with spades. So considering all of those hands, I don't believe that many, if any, are turning their hand into a bluff on the river. There is a part of his range, whilst not a huge part of his range, it must be acknowledged, there is a part of his range which we were actually drawing to 1 out. That is the pocket queens. So considering that he's not going to bet the river with a lot of the hands that he can have arrived at this point to, it makes it an easy bet for us. But what I want to illustrate here, this is still a very, very reluctant bet fold on the river if we do bet and if we do get raised, because essentially it's queen-queen, and if he's bluffing us without queen-queen in a spot like this, taking this line, he deserves to have the money. But based on how fast he folds, I'd say it was a hand like either king-king, queen with spades, or the 6, 7, 8 of spades. But I just want to illustrate those 2 final hands. As I say, it's good they do appear together, and we still do need to be prepared to make and bet fold our full houses on the river if the situation demands it, because going ahead and bet calling them on the river when you've got a lot of information to say that you're beat, it's just burning money.